Welcome to the Afterspin, opinions from thought leaders in our state. I want to ask John Hood and Chris Fitzsimon a huge news story that's not getting a lot of press surrounds GenX, not the population demographic, but the chemical that a company called Chemours has been discharging into the Cape Fear River from its Fayetteville plant. The chemical is considered a contaminant in drinking water. Attorney General Josh Stein has begun an investigation into the levels. Just how big a problem is this for people downriver, and what should be done about it? John, I'll start with you.
Well, there are some recommendations, some guidance, but no regulations, because there's actually not significant or not sufficient empirical evidence about the carcinogen effects or any other kinds of health effects. There's suspicion, there's some indications. So this is not a case where a company has violated some standard and is going to potentially be fined. This is not something that has been found conclusively to threaten human health. It might. And so when people hear about this story, they need to understand that there is a potential for health threat. It has to be carefully studied. We don't simply want government to be banning things without sufficient evidence, but we also want companies to be able to do what they can to avoid creating these problems. And that's what ultimately happened here, is that they are now, I think, taking the wastewater from the plant.
They've stopped
They're going to they're going to do something else with it other than put it in the river.
Chris, how big a problem is this?
Well, it's a huge problem. If you go to southeastern North Carolina, people are understandably concerned. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why we have state government, state agencies, state regulators, the Department of Environmental Quality. Josh Stein, as you mentioned, the Attorney General is involved. This is a whole new field called emerging contaminants. You know, there are new things created every day, new chemicals, some of which are great and help society, some of which are great and help society, but have a damaging impact that makes them not a good idea to be dumping in our waters and our rivers. And we rely on the experts and scientists at the Department of Environmental Quality to help us understand, to oversee the studies, to do the studies. I do think it's worth pointing out the Department of Environmental Quality has had significant budget cuts in the last several years. That makes this kind of job a lot harder. And I hope that the General Assembly will respond to some requests for additional resources.
My mind just went to a crazy place and Aaron Brockovich came to my mind. Perhaps maybe it's not that serious. Let's hope so. Well, thank you for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.